word for this year is faith. And I believe that God is taking me through different steps and different processes of what it means to have faith in this year. And as I was sleeping last night, God downloaded some things into my heart, into my spirit about faith, about the process of faith. And I wanted to come on here and just share those things with you. As we go through this season, there are times where our faith will be tested. There are things we don't have the answer to. There are so many things that can actually just take over our minds in this season and really disrupt our faith in this season. And I truly believe that there is a process to faith. This is something that God really put in my spirit last night as I was sleeping, and I literally woke up and began to write down what he was speaking to me. And so one of the things that he downloaded in me last night is, in this process of faith, don't expect your faith to always be perfect. And the verse that I have for this is Hebrews 12:2. Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, who is the author and the perfecter of our faith. He will give us what we need in order to keep going, in order to keep pressing on, in order to keep following him and what he's speaking to us. Instead of fighting the places where you're struggling with faith, accept those places as the places that God wants to stretch and grow your faith. So if you have reached a place where you're just struggling, you're like, why am I struggling so much with this? I believe it's because God wants to take you to a brand new level. He wants you to take you to a level of faith that you have never been before. And when we are taken to a brand new level, it takes us out of our comfort zone. It takes us up higher. And in order to go higher, you've got to climb. You've got to be stretched. You've got to grow in order to go higher than where you are. And so what God was saying to me was, accept these places that it seems like you're just struggling to have the faith that you desire to have. Know that in those places, I'm stretching you. I'm growing you in your faith. You know, in Mark 9:24, a man comes to Jesus, and he comes to Jesus because he wants Jesus to heal his son. And God says to him that if you believe, anything is possible. And this man cries out in Mark 9:24, Lord, I believe, but please help my unbelief. This man believed Jesus. He believed in the healing of Jesus. But sometimes it is hard for the physical to meet the spiritual and truly and fully 100% trust that God can do this. Fear steps in, worry steps in, all these different things step in. And so all we have to do in those places where it seems like, God, I believe you, but I'm still struggling, just ask God to help you with the unbelief. Meet you there where you're believing and help you in the places that you're struggling to believe, because he will do it. God healed this man's son because of his faith, because he had the strength to say, God, help me in this place. Help me to believe. Help me where I'm not believing. Show me what to do. We have to be vulnerable enough and humble enough to fall before God and say, this is where I am. And I promise you, God will meet you there in that place. We have to allow him to fill in the gaps of our faith. We have to allow him to fill in the gaps of our faith. So that goes back to me saying that when you're struggling with unbelief, you believe Jesus, you know the power of his healing, you've seen what he's done before, but yet there's a struggle there. We have to trust him to fill in the gaps. So I just ask today that if there is a place in your life in this season where you are struggling, it seems like you're trying your hardest, but it's just hard for you to believe what God can do in this place. Submit and surrender that thing to him. Trust him to lead you. Trust him to guide you. Trust him to be the author and the perfecter of your faith. Trust him to help you with your unbelief. Trust that he knows where you are. Don't beat yourself up. Have grace for yourself in this season. You are human. God understands that. The one thing I love about all of the stories in the Bible and how how God led his children is his love. He loved them. He took care of them. He nourished them. He clothed them. He protected them. And he's going to do the same for you as his child. He's going to protect you. He's going to clothe you, and he's going to nourish you. He's going to lead you, and he's going to fill in the gaps in the places where you feel like you are missing or lacking something that you need. Guys, again, my name is Janice Sheree. I am the CEO and founder of Janice Sheree LLC. We are all about promoting whole minds and present moments, and we do this in many ways. If you have time, I invite you to check out our Just 10 Holy Yoga YouTube channel. We offer free holy yoga sessions and meditation sessions there, training you to focus your mind on God, to truly hear what He's speaking to you in season. My specialty is in transitions because I believe that we are always in transition. And in transition, sometimes it's hard to train our mind to be still, wait, and listen for God, to understand the seasons we are in so that we're not forcing ourselves out of the season and actually getting everything that God needs us to get in season. Check us out at JaniceSheree.com. I love you. I'm praying for you. God's protection and covering over you. I pray abundance and prosperity for your life. I pray that you are able to hear God and follow Him and know His sheep hear His voice and they follow Him. Have a blessed day.